so that you can make money in the long
Well,
run.
apparently a lot of people in the West Wing hated her because she liked to be on camera, but obviously she did a really shitty job answering questions for the Biden administration, and she didn't do the managerial work
Yeah, I don't think
behind
that's
the scenes.
policy aside. I think I think any job for Biden, for Trump, for Obama, for Clinton, it's a bad job.
The press secretary
Yes.
job?
Well,
See, I actually think it'd be the most fun because everybody's going to hate you anyway, so why not?
No, that's what I mean. I go, you're going to get your entire life is a comment section on Reddit where people are just trolling you. Like, nobody likes you.
True. The press doesn't like you.
Yeah.
People in the administration probably don't like
well,
you.
I don't think we can hold against them that they basically lie for a living because
Right.
they have to lie for a living
To keep
because
their job.
Well, what if you just went out? Like, if you just went out there and you just went, I took a shot of sodium pentothal, and I found out I had brain cancer, 3 weeks to live. So ask away. Is Joe Biden, is he addled? Is he affected mentally? You'd be like, well, obviously you've seen the tape. He doesn't fucking know where he is half the time.
Do you know
but don't worry, everyone else is basically running the White House,
Right.
but he's not, so don't worry. But the part you should worry about is they're all crazy leftists. So you thought Joe was in the middle of the road. Joe is in the middle of the road. We literally have to get him out of the middle of the road. He doesn't know where he is, but he's got a bunch of lefty lunatics
He's driving
running
a truck that won't get out of the way for
country. Right. He parked in front of Corolla's
Yeah.
studio. He won't move. All right. So any other questions? Like, well, no, of course you go, Joe's 100%. We just had a long talk. My problem is I need roller skates to keep up with that guy.
It's literally an abbreviation of what she told Don Lemon, by the way. Who Lemon asked her, like, hey, how is the president's cognitive abilities? This was back in 2022.
It's great.
Karine Jean-Pierre, we have it?
Yeah,
Sweet.
we have it.
He's the president of the United States.
Does the president have the stamina, physically and mentally, do you think, to continue on even after 2024?
Don, you're asking me this question. Oh my gosh, he's the president of the United States. I can't even keep up with him. We just got back from New Mexico. We just got back from California. That is.
Why is your voice so high?
That is.
Donnie! I'm buying Coke off him.
But also, it's a weird. So here's how you know the premise is weird of her answer. He's the president. That's like saying your head coach just went 0-13. Should we fire him? He's the head coach of the Giants.
You're answering a question that nobody's asking.
Yeah.
It's not even a question. Yes, he's the president.
Yeah.
That's
established. Nobody was questioning that.
You got to laugh, and then it becomes laughable.
Well, I'm concerned if she couldn't keep up with Joe Biden in 2022, then maybe she needs to see a doctor. But she's not moving to the right. She is saying that she felt like the Democratic Party betrayed Joe Biden. The description of the book says it's set to be released in October, and it will look at the, quote, 3 weeks that led to Joe Biden's abandoning his bid for a second term and the betrayal of the Democratic Party that led to his decision.
Well, Joe Biden isn't anything. It's just the people who work the auto pen sort of with him. And that's all you really needed. Also, when they go like, well, you got to have the auto pen. I was thinking about it because, the president has got so many documents and so many things. When I wrote like my first or second book, they shipped 5,000 book plates, they call them.
Mm-hmm.
5,000.
Yep.
5,000 little adhesive-backed 3x4 squares that you would sign, and then they'd stick them on the back of the book, right? I didn't get 800. I got 5,000. And my whole life for the next 3 weeks was I'd have a stack like 4 inches high, and I'd just be sitting in bed watching TV, just sign. Wherever I was, I'd be standing in the kitchen eating, sign. Everywhere. I wouldn't leave the house without a stack of these things. It was a pain in the ass, but I didn't have an auto pen. Like, you can do it.
That's funny to think of you in the kitchen just with a feed bag on.
That's right. I had my nanny feed me, but yeah.
No, but you're right. I
said lips when she asked.
She goes,
hips
oh,
or
sorry,
lips.
hips.
I was like,
Yeah.
no lips.
Yeah.
I'm hungry.
But the thing is, like, the auto pen is so funny. What does his signature even look like? And as he declined, what did it become?
And here's the other thing too. I realize I go out on the road, I bring all my books. I've told the story a million times. I just bring my books they gave me and I sell them as merch.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get rid of them. basically. That's why I'm doing it. But I stand there in line after the second show and the first show, and people come up.
Yeah, they want
they're
your
gonna
autograph,
shove me.
yeah.
If you took the 25 people that brought a book and just opened them up out in the parking lot and put a flashlight on it, the signatures would look marginally different because I'm just kind of rattling them off.
For sure.
You'd go, the same guy signed all these, but the first one and the third one and the 17th one are kind of different than one. So when they're all exactly dead nuts on down to the millimeter,
It's a stamp.
that's an auto pen.
That's a really good way for us to see. Maybe that's one of the things that Congress can investigate.
Oh, they did.
Like,
No,
I feel like every time I'm writing my name, it's like slightly different.
It's going to vary because you're a human being and you're in a little different position, and sometimes you're not even looking down. Sometimes you're just signing
You're
and
like,
taking
what's
a
your name?
picture.
John. Nice to meet you,
Right,
John.
yeah.
And then you're
Well,
scrolling.
the autograph hounds, they used to say the clearer the signature, the more it was worth. So that there's sort of not I don't mean mentally, but late stage, in the beginning when you get like the Beatles to sign, things were much clearer than when they had signed a billion things.
It's just scribble.
Right.
Well, and then that makes sense too, because then it's an older artifact as well, most likely
Right,
too.
that
So
is
it's like
exact.
it's double. And so it's like, yes, Paul McCartney and first album.
If I was Joe Biden, I would just sign a JB.
Yeah.
Justin Bieber.
Yeah.
Yeah. Come on, man.
Come on, man. Just JB.
So
Even I the same.
now there's going to be a big auto pen thing because you're going to go literally the last day you pardoned a bunch of people. But did you pardon a bunch of people or did they pardon a bunch of people?
Yeah.
Well, we all
And
know
who's-
he pardoned his son.
There's they. Yeah, but is Jill Biden in charge of the auto pen? Because they go, she was kind of running things, or Ron Klain, or whoever in the cabinet was kind of calling the shots, and he was kind of out of it at that point. So is that Jill calling
Well,
the
according
shots?
to the Tapper book, they're saying that they're members of the cabinet that spoke to Tapper that were like, we didn't even see him and we didn't know what was going on. We
Yeah,
were hearing from Klain and like all of these other inner circle staffers.
Well,
So I think it is a legitimate question. I think like this could be it should be a real scandal.
it should be.
Nobody wants to
But they
address.
want to turn the page.
Yeah.
And Kareem Jean-Pierre wants to get a New York Times bestseller out of that one.
Homes.com. Well, some might say Homes.com is the best home shopping site. It may be Homes.com's super comprehensive and transparent agent directory, or maybe it's that Homes.com is the only site that always directly connects you with the listing agent who knows the home the best. Perhaps it's because Homes.com has the most in-depth neighborhood content of any home shopping site that's extensively researched to highlight the personality of each neighborhood. Homes.com goes above and beyond to bring home shoppers the in-depth info they need to find the right home. Homes.com. That's Homes.com. We've done your homework.
This summer, Pluto TV is exploding with thousands of free movies. Summer of Cinema is here. Feel the explosive action all summer long with movies like Gladiator, Mission Impossible, Beverly Hills Cop, Good Burger, and Transformers: Dark of the Moon. Bring the action with you and stream for free from all your favorite devices. Pluto TV. Stream now. Pay never.
Yeah, my feeling, and it's kind of funny. I mean, Biden, he really bucked himself, and I'll tell you why. And I've been a broken record about this subject, which is sort of affirmative action, as we used to call it, or DEI, as they call it now. Look, it's fine if you run a fast food place and you're in a neighborhood and it's a predominantly black neighborhood and you go, why don't we take a couple of the black guys, put them up front at the counter, put the Mexican guy behind the grill, because they could represent the community. But when it comes to really important jobs, just get the best, which can be black and it can be a woman and it can be a lesbian. You're shrinking your pool. Like if I just said, look, I need a roofer, but he's got to be albino. Then someone
That's not
would
a
go,
good job.
It's not a job for him. But like people would go, good luck finding a good albino roofer. And then if I found an albino roofer, there'd be a good chance he might not be the best.
Then this is how we got Kamala Harris
Yes,
as our vice
right.
president.
Because we shrunk the pool. So Joe said, I'm going to have a vice president, but it's going to be a woman, and it's going to be a woman of color. And it's like, okay, going to be a woman. You've taken half the candidates, more than half the candidates out, because traditionally it's more men, politics or generals or whatever.
Because women are more risk averse than men.
Yeah, I mean, it's
that's
just,
literally why there's more men in politics, because women tend to be more risk averse.
Yeah,
naturally.
if you just got, look, I'm hiring a plumber, but it's got to be a woman, I'd be like, oh, you just took 85% of plumbers and you threw them out.
Weird stat, actually. It's actually closer to 99%.
Oh, yeah.
Because I give campus speeches on, all the different roles of men and women and the beauty and the differences of men and women, and, literally plumbing and electricians, it's, less than 2% are women.
I was trying to be magnanimous, and I was thinking about it as I was saying.
I thought you were going to say you're taking 100% God and you're just going to have shit in your toilet.
Well, what I was trying to do is make it cross over to Kamala, which is, yes, they're black women, Condoleezza Rice, there's qualified black women out there. There have been historically, but you've taken the lion's share of the people who could perform this task and you got rid of them mathematically. So now you're left with a smaller group, and now you go, I need a woman. Yeah, okay, and she's got to be black. And it's like, okay, now we're really getting finite here in granular, and then you pick one, and I go, well, now be careful, because she may not be great at this job.
Turns out.
And it turns out she was bad at the job, and it turns out you ruined your next 4 years because she wasn't up to it. And Karine Jean-Pierre, we want a black woman, and she was up there going, I'm the first lesbian black woman who's ever done the job. Great, applaud, but be careful, she may not be the best at this.
Oh,
and that's what happened
well,
to her.
he did it with the Supreme Court, too.
Right.
Ketanji Jackson.
Right. Well,
same thing, every time.
Right, and he inhabited his cabinet with, look, there's going to be two considerations. One is, can they be head of the Joint Chief of Staff or the head of the whatever? But the other bigger one is, are they gay? Are they black? Are they a woman? And it's like, well, then you're not going to get the best group to do this. And that's what he did. And then he would get out there and he'd brag all the time. He'd go, this is the most diverse staff we've ever, and it's like,
as inflation is
yeah, but they're not. You got Janet Yellen, who's one of my mom's friends from when I was in high school, who seems totally inept and way overhead. A lot of these people, Mayorkas, they seemed incompetent, inept, and sort of over their head, but it's because they never should have been there in the first place. And also, as a citizen of this country, basically, I went on Tucker Carlson. We got to find this, Andrew. I went and did Tucker Carlson's show. It's